Roll number 236, 257. 257. 19 series 201. స్విచ్ ఆన్ చేయండి అమ్మా ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు అందు. I request each and every one of you, please switch on your videos for 5 minutes. ఒక 5 minutes అనండి, ఒక 5 minutes ఆన్ చేయండి, స్విచ్ ఆన్ చేయండి. లేకపోతే నేను మిమ్మల్ని వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ పంపించాల్సి వస్తుంది. మీరు స్విచ్ ఆన్ చేస్తేనే క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది ఈ రోజు మాత్రం ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో. Please switch on your videos first. Subject is completely full of expressions and it is completely derivative subject. Okay, each and every topic you must have some derivatives. You should all know all those things, right? See, I'm taking full control over the session. Just I'm muting all the participants, so you don't have any right to unmute yourself first. Okay, if you are having any doubts, you please just raise your hand, or you please just put a small message in the chat box so that I can able to see, and I will clarify that also, right? So within 2 to 3 classes I shall able to complete the chapter number 1. So before going to that, first of all, in the last class we have started the Vibus formation using direct inspection method. See, the Vibus can be formed using two methods. The first one is singular transformation method. Already we have seen that, and we have solved one problem based on that particular concept. Now the next thing is direct inspection method. Now the Vibus formation by using this direct inspection method is very easy to analyze and easy to understand when compared with the previous method, that is singular transformation method. But unless you are asked to use a particular method, so you can take any method whichever you want. Okay, that is completely your wish. Okay, whichever method, which method is convenient to you, you can follow that one. There is no strict rule for following this method or that method, whatever it may be. But my sincere suggestion is, if you are not asked to follow a particular method, definitely you must go for the Vibus formation using a direct inspection method. Now we are using this particular method for the next chapter, that is in order to determine the load flow solutions at a particular load flow solution is just nothing but we are going to determine the real power, reactive power, voltage, current at a particular bus or a node. So in order to determine all these parameters, these are all electrical parameters. In order to determine these parameters, definitely we must use the information about the Vibus of that particular network, right? So for that purpose, I am going to explain the direct inspection method on the whiteboard here. Now please go through this. Just listen the concept carefully. Right? Formation of Vibus using direct inspection method. Okay, right. Now in the last class already we have started this one, we have seen all these things, right? So we have taken a n bus system. This is an ith bus number, this is an ith bus. See, please try to attend the sessions. Okay, don't be so here I am considering two buses. The first bus is ith bus, second bus is nth bus. Now here I am considering capital I suffix I with the current which is entering into this particular ith bus. Now the currents leaving. So here I am considering an nth bus. So where n is also equal to so or you can also consider this as kth bus, whatever it means. You can consider anyway. You can consider anyway. Suppose if I am considering this as a kth bus, now k is varying from 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. up to n. Similarly, if you are considering this as a nth bus, obviously you can consider that as equal to n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. and up to n. Okay. So this is the technical problem that we are facing. Every time most of the people are trying to attend the sessions by 10:15, 10:20, 10:25, etc. That is not correct. Okay, try to rectify that. So the first bus, I am considering it as a V1, and this is V2, and this is V3, so etc. up to this is Vn, and now this is so this is a self, some admittance y0, so this is a zero potential. Now you can consider this is connected to ground. Okay, right. Now please all of you look at this. So I am considering an ith bus, and here I suffix I be the total current that is entering into this particular ith bus, and now the total outgoing currents are equal to n number of currents. So this is the first one, and this is the second outgoing current, third outgoing. So according to the KCL, the incoming currents is equal to the sum of the total outgoing currents. Okay, but now you see here yi1 is the admittance which is connected between ith bus and the V1 first bus. Now yi2 is the admittance connected between ith bus and the second bus. Now yi3 is the admittance which is connected between ith bus and the V. So etc. You will have total n number of admittances are there in a given system, right? So according to this, we are going to have n number of algebraic equations. Why? Because now I am going to apply KCL at this particular ith bus. So I can write the ith bus equation as I suffix I is equal to I suffix, so I is equal to y into v. Already we know that I is equal to y into. So according to that, you can write this as vi minus v1 into yi1. Small letters. These are all small letters. Plus the next term is vi minus v2. So this is the second outgoing current. So here I'm going to sum up all the outgoing currents. Okay. So in order to obtain n number of algebraic equations. So in this way you are getting n number of algebraic equations, but I am going to write down the generalized form. The generalized form. So the current at the ith bus can be written as II is equal to VA minus V1 into YI1, VI minus V2 into YI2 plus VA minus V3. So etc. up to you will have the nth term. So this I can write it as VI. This is not V1. So this is VI. Please do remember. So VI minus VN into YIN. I think it is clear now. Now you please see here. This is the first outgoing current. This is the second outgoing current. There is a third outgoing current. Similarly, you will have total n number of outgoing currents are there. So according to KCL, the sum of incoming currents is equal to the sum of outgoing currents. So here I suffix I be the total current that is entering into the particular ith bus. So if you are considering that as an incoming current, now the outgoing currents are Vy. So that is the generalized expression. That is the relationship between I, V and Y. So in this case, Vi, so that is the ith bus voltage that is common, that is fixed. There is no change at all. But every time the 10th bus is varying. So where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on up to the nth term. So you can consider that as Vi minus V1 into Yi1 plus Vi minus V2 into Ya2 plus Va minus Vn into, and so on up to Yan. But you will also have one more term, that is this one, the last one, that you can write it as Vi minus, see already the last one has been connected to the ground potential. Obviously you can consider that as 0. Vi into Yi0. This is the case. Okay, now please try to understand how I am writing this algebraic equation. Ii is equal to this one. Okay, so by simply applying KCL. Now here I am going to separate all the common terms. So this I can consider this as I is equal to minus V1 into yi1, okay, minus, so in this case also you will have minus v2 into yi2, so similarly minus v3 into yi3, okay, similarly and up to the last one, vn into yin. Okay, now I am taking Vi common from all the terms. Vi common from all the terms. Why? Because all the terms contains the ith bus as a common bus voltage. So that I am considering it as Vi. If I am taking that as common from all the terms, you will have Vi is equal to, so Vi multiplied by yi1 plus yi2 plus yi3, okay, and so on, plus yin. Don't forget to write this one. yi0 is already there. Okay, y, just wait a moment. Right. Okay. So you will have all these things. Now just carefully observe this. So this equation can be obtained from this one. Now I am going to write down these terms clearly. So I am considering y i0 plus y i1 plus y i2. That means all the terms in this particular region. So this I am considering it as y i2 plus and so on y, just wait a minute, right, yin. This I am considering it as yii. So that means self admittance. See again, admittance is again divided into two parts. That is, the first one is the self admittance and the mutual admittance. Now let me clarify what is the self admittance and what is mutual admittance. Self admittance means the number of admittances connected to a particular bus. Suppose if I have considered ith bus as a particular bus, let us consider I is equal to 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. I don't bother about that one. If I consider I is equal to 1 means the first bus, how many admittances have been connected to that first bus? You need to add all those admittances in order to obtain the self admittance of that particular. Now what is the mutual admittance? Now you see here yi1, nothing but the admittance which has been connected to ith bus and kth bus. So in between two buses, you will have admittance. Then that type of admittance is called a mutual admittance. Self-admittance means obviously if you are considering one bus, the number of admittances have been connected to that particular bus is called okay, self-admittance, right? So here I am considering all these things. Now you see here, and I am also considering that as, so here this is capital YII. Please do remember that. Please do remember that this is capital YII. Similarly, I am considering this as minus YI1 minus yi1 is equal to capital yi1. That means including this negative sign, I'm considering this as a capital Y. See, please try to understand the difference between the small letters and capital letters. Now here I am representing the entire algebraic equation in terms of capital letters, not in terms of small letters. Why? Because minus small y I1 is considered as a capital Y I1. So similarly, minus y I2 is equal to capital Y I2. So these are my assumptions. These are my assumptions. So if I simply substitute all these assumptions in this particular equation, now what I will get? I will get I suffix I is equal to, okay. So yi1, capital yi1 into v1 plus capital yi2 into v2, okay, and capital yi3 and so on and so on up to the last one y. So this I can consider this as yii, okay. So yii into vi minus, sorry, plus y in into vn. Just carefully observe how I have written this equation. Simply in this, see, first of all, you should be able to write this equation. Now from this equation, you are going to have this form. Okay, just by separating vi terms and v1 and v2, etc., all the terms. So here yi0, yi1, yi2, yi3, and so on up to yin, I can consider that as yii, nothing but those are the admittances which have been connected to that particular ith bus. So I can consider that as a self admittance. I can take it as a capital yii. That is my assumption. So similarly, again you are also having minus small yi1. That I am considering it as capital yi1. Minus yi2 can be considered as a capital yi2, etc. So just you simply substitute all these assumptions in this equation. So if you substitute minus yi1 by capital yi1, obviously you will get yi1 into v1 plus yi2 into v2 plus yi3 into v3 and vi into yii. That I have written like this. And one more term is missing, that is vn into yin. So obviously you can consider that minus yin is equal to capital yin. So this is the required equation. This is the required equation. You just put this in a square box. Why? Because this is important. Okay. Just wait a moment. Right. So this is the required information. Okay. Now here I am giving you some assumptions. Just now I told you that the first assumption is nothing but yik is equal to minus yik. So this you can consider this. So now see here. So this is the negative impedance connected between ith bus and kth bus. Now you can consider that as a mutual admittance, and obviously all the admittances which have been connected to this first bus. So you can call that as a self admittance. Okay. Now we shall write the generalized expression. We shall write the generalized expressions now. Now the generalized expression is I suffix I is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to n yik into vk. Now let us verify whether it is correct or not. So this is the generalized expression that comes from this one. So this is the generalized expression for this form. Now substitute I is equal to, sorry, k is equal to 1 here. What you will get? If you substitute k is equal to 1, y I1 into V1. Yes, we got the one. K is equal to 2, yi2 into V2, yi3 into V3. Suppose if we substitute k is equal to I, so from k is equal to 1 to n, you will also have one more term, that is ith term. If you substitute k is equal to I, now what you will get? Yii into Vi. So that you will get this one. So if you, so finally the last one is nth term. If you substitute k is equal to n here, obviously you will get yin into Vn. So this is the generalized expression for the equation, algebraic equation that we got from the nth, means the system which considering which is consists of two buses, ith bus and the kth bus. Okay, so this is like the likewise we are going to have n number of algebraic equations. So if we write all the n number of algebraic equations, then we can simply obtain a matrix form. Now I am going to explain that one also. Right. Okay. See, why always I am saying that you will get n number of algebraic equations. Why? Because here I is a variable, k is also a variable. So in this particular case, on RHS side, you are varying k parameter from 1 to n. But similarly, I is also another parameter that is also varying from 1 to n. So if we consider I is varying from 1 to n and k is also varying from 1 to n, you will get n number of algebraic equations. Suppose let us consider I is equal to, small I is equal to 1. Now what you will get? Now what you will get? So I is equal to 1. So just for example, if I am considering, or if I am substituting 1 here. Now what you will get? So sigma k is equal to 1 to n. So here the small I term is fixed. So you are going to determine the algebraic equation for the first bus. Okay. So I1 is equal to y1k into Vk. Again, k is also varying, that is varying from 1 to n. Now what you will get if you expand that one? If you expand, so consider k is equal to 1. If you consider that one, obviously you will get what? What you will get? Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into V2 plus Y13 into V3 plus Y14 into V4 plus, and up to the last term. That means now you see here, directly I'm going to write down here, don't mind. So I1, I2, the matrix form, I3, I4. So these are the currents that are going to obtain. So not I4, this is IN. I'm mistaken. IN. So just now we have discussed that the first equation is Y11. This is Y12. So similarly Y13 and up to the last one Y1N. So here I is fixed. I is fixed. Every time you see here Y11, Y12, K is only the varying parameter here. Okay. So similarly, if you determine the second algebraic equation, I is fixed, but K is varying from 1 to n. So this you can consider it as Y22, Y23 up to Y2n. So similarly, again for the third one, you will have Y31, y32, y33, etc. up to y3n. Okay. Now that in that particular case it is fixed. Now come to the last one, in. So you can consider this as yn1. Why? Because obviously the small I term is fixed. So I is equal to n here. K is varying from 1 to n. So yn1, yn2, yn3, like up to yn. Now you will also have one more matrix, that is v1, v2, and up to vn. Now you please see here. So this I am considering it as I bus. I bus is equal to y bus into v bus. So from this I can write this as I bus is equal to y bus into v bus, where I bus is equal to the matrix I1, I2, I3, and so on in. Y bus is equal to y11, y12, and completely this matrix is y bus, and completely this matrix is v bus. Okay, if you multiply I bus is equal to y bus into v bus, so now see here, all the diagonalized elements y11, y22, y33, y44, and up to yn are the self admittances of that particular y bus, and etc. upper half diagonal elements and the lower half diagonal elements. So what are the upper half diagonal elements? So if you consider these are the diagonal elements, so y12, y13, and so up to yn, and y23, y24 up to y2n, and similarly the lower half diagonal. All these are mutual admittances which have been connected in between two buses, ith bus and the kth bus. So obviously we have seen that one also. Okay. Now this is about the y bus formation using direct inspection method, right? Just you note down this all these things. So you will have a problem here. So generalizer form. So now you see here, so here the generalizer form represents that I bus is equal to, so all the terms I, y, v are matrices. So that complete matrix is called the bus current or current vector, voltage vector, admittance vector. So bus current vector, bus voltage vector. So the generalized form is this one. So the Y bus formation, Y bus is equal to, already we have seen that one, Y11, Y12, Y13, and up to Y1n, Y21. So etc. all this, right? Now we are going to do the problem here. So definitely you will get some idea how to solve that one by using direct inspection, right? You just wait a moment. For that, I am going to share one more thing here. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. I'm going to display a problem based on this direct inspection. See, direct inspection method is very important and very easy also. Okay, you don't have to struggle more as in the case of singular transformation, right? Okay. See, the power is off. Sorry for that. I'm going to share my screen here. You just note down a problem. Just note down a problem. And later we will solve this one also, right? So form the VIBUS for the following system by using direct inspection method. Suppose if you are not asked to use a particular method, definitely my sincere suggestion is you just directly without any hesitation, you can directly follow this direct inspection method. Why? Because this is easiest method when we compared with the singular transformation. But unless you are asked to use a singular transformation, definitely you must use the same singular transformation for obtaining the VIBUS formation, right? So form the VIBUS for the following system, Now the system contains, see, this is the source currents I1 is entering into this particular. So how many buses are there? So bus number 1, bus number 2, and bus number 3. So in between the first bus and the third bus, you will have, see, one thing is very, very clear. You are going to determine the admittance. Even though the problem contains the impedances, later you need to convert that impedance to admittance. Okay, so this is the case that we are going to see here, right? I1 and I2 are the total incoming currents to particular nodes Y1, I1 first node bus 1 and bus 2, and later the bus voltage V1 and V2 is given, bus number V3 is already given here, and Y30 have been connected to the ground potential, and the third bus Z31, Z23, Z12 are the impedances that have been given. So this is a problem. You just try to note down this one. Okay. See, just I will give you some idea how to determine the admittance uh, matrix for this particular type of system. So this is a power system that he has given, and for this bus you are asked to determine, or you are asked to form Y bus. Okay, simply I will give you some hints. Okay, you can use the hints and you can determine the Y bus form. I mean, you can form the Y bus here, right? Now you just see. First, I'm going to write down the first algebraic equation, that is I1. First algebraic equation, that is I1. So I1 is equal to, now let us verify how many admittances are how many. First of all, you need to convert these impedances to admittances. So if you convert this, obviously you will get Y31, and this is, you will get Y12, and this you will get Y23. First of all, it is very, very important. Please do remember that. Don't proceed the problem by considering impedances directly. Okay. So if he has given impedances, means obviously he will definitely mention that impedance of the particular branch is equal to this one. In that particular case, you are directed to consider the admittance, not the impedance, right? So for the formation of Y bus, definitely you must consider the admittance in between those two buses, right? Now, I am going to write down the equation number 1. So that is the first algebraic equation. So I1 is the first I am considering bus number 1. I1 is the current which is entering into the type bus, the first bus. How many currents are that are leaving from this first bus? So this is the first current and this is the second one. Okay. Now the first current is, see, already everything is known to you. There is nothing new in this particular problem. The only thing is you need to identify the direction of current. So from which bus to which bus the current is trying to flow. Now you see here the total incoming current, that is I1, is equal to the total outgoing currents. The total outgoing currents are V1 minus V3, V1 minus V3 multiplied by Y31. This is the first outgoing current from bus number 1. Now the second one is V1 minus V2 multiplied by y12. Is it not? See, we are going in this way. Suppose if this is not the case, if the direction of the current is towards this one, obviously you can consider. So suppose if you are going to determine the second algebraic equation, I2 is equal to, there are again two outgoing currents. The first one is this one, second one is this one. In this particular case, you are going to consider this as a y21 and you are going to consider this as a y23. So y21 into v1. So this is the direction of current. Okay, this is the direction of current. So every time based on that particular case or based on that particular bus, the direction of the current is going to be changed. Okay, that you need to apply. Okay, so just now I have written the first equation. Equation number 1 is I1 is equal to V1 minus V3 into Y31 plus V1 minus V2 into Y12. Obviously, these two are the two outgoing currents from bus number 1. Similarly, you can determine the algebraic equation for bus number 2 and you can also determine the algebraic equation for bus number 3. Okay, if you are going to determine the algebraic equation for bus number 2, now this is the total current that is entering into this particular bus I2. But as far as the third bus is concerned, now how many incoming currents are there? Incoming currents are 2 and there is only the total outgoing currents are I3 and this one also the outgoing current. So you can have I3 plus y30 into V3 minus V0. So obviously V3. You should be very careful. That means obviously in this particular system you will have three buses, means obviously you will get three algebraic equations. By using those three algebraic equations you can obtain y bus and the matrix size of 3 by 3. Okay, so tomorrow we will complete this problem also. Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts at any time, you please directly contact me. Okay, my phone number is available. Obviously, you can directly contact me for clarifying your doubts, right? Thank you.